guys, welcome back to the channel. On today's episode of Not a Nail Tech, I'm going to be starting with Cashmere, and we're going to be making a snow globe nail today, or at least we're going to try to. Who knows how it'll end up. So I'm going to do a little bit of a textured ombre for the background. So I'm going to have Cashmere at the top. Then I'm going to go in with some Snow White, and I'm just going to do that at the bottom of the nail. And I'm just going to use one of our textured, oh, what is that? I'm going to use one of our textured brushes, and I'm just going to blend those together a little bit. I don't mind the little bit of texture that comes with this brush, so I'm going to leave that there. I'm just going to cue that for 60 seconds. I'm just going to go and do another layer of both of those colours. And just again using that brush and smushing the colours around. Next, I'm just going to be using one of our acrylic powders. This is Frost Shimmer, and it's a really pretty, slightly shimmery powder, and I'm just going to be topping the gel polish with that. But what we're going to do is we're not going to cure the gel polish first. We're literally just going to pour it over the top and it'll stick to that gel polish. What it'll do is it'll give like a sparkly snow effect. You want to make sure you use loads of this, because you can always pour it back in the pot, any of the excess, just to make sure that it gives the right amount of texture and gets all of the bits where the gel polish is. And I'm just going to cure that. And I'm just going to give that I'm just going to give that a little brush off just to make sure we get off all the excess. Next, we're going to be using our Clear as Day Builder Gel, and this is going to create our dome for our globe. So I found one of our little file bits, which is probably about perfect size and perfect dome, and I'm just going to be popping the Clear as Day Builder Gel on that. I've put some cling film over the file bit just to make sure that nothing sticks to it, we don't ruin it. Once I've done that layer, I'm just going to cure that. Now that's cured, I'm going to go back in with another coat. I'm probably going to do maybe about 3 coats of this. I'll see how strong it feels once the third one's on. Changed my mind and I'm going back in with a 4th layer. I just want it to be nice and strong. And I'm just going to cure that. I'm just going to give this a wipe off with some of our gel residue wipe off solution just to get rid of the tacky layer. And then let's see how this pops off. Oh, look at that dome. Beautiful. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to put some top coat on the inside in the hope that it evens out some of the little ridges from the cling film. There we go. So what I'm going to do now is, as you can see, the nail has a curve to it and this does not. So I need it to sit flush with here. So I'm going to try and file down the middle part so it'll sit flush with the nail. We shall see. There we go, I've managed to get it close enough for now, and I think we'll be able to seal it a bit better at the end. So next I'm just going to take note of where that's going to sit in the hope that I can get my little tree scene that I'm going to paint in the right place. I'm just going to use Cyanide and use that for the green of our trees. I'm just going to go in with Friar's rub for the tree trunk now. And just flash cue with that. Just going to go in with some Snow White and add some snow to those trees now. And I'm just going to add a little bit of snow like it's on the floor. And flash cue with that. Next I'm just going to go in with some of our little star gems, and I'm just going to pop one on the top of the tree just to make it look like a Christmas tree. And I'm just going to use some of our Clear as Day Builder gel just to stick that on. Sometimes a vision just comes together, and then I'm probably going to mess it all up by doing all of this stuff. Next I'm just going to go in with some matte top coat, and this is just going to protect the design for the rest of the process just in case something goes wrong. So you could just leave it here and just have a little pretty tree on a little pretty nail, but we're going to try and make it into a snow globe. So next I'm just going to be using some builder gel on the edge of the dome, and I'll be sticking it onto the nail like so. But if this doesn't happen on camera, I'm not apologising because it's going to be very tricky. We're just going to get a little bit of help from Jack here, just to help flash cue. You've just turned it off. If he turns the torch on, just to flash cure it to keep it in place while I add in some extra builder gel. So I've actually left a tiny little gap at the bottom in the hopes that I can get the oil in, which will make our, what's it called, Jack?
Snow globe.
Snow globe effect. We'll see what happens. Thank you, Jack. Thanks for your assistance. So I've just mixed some oil with some of our glitter, and this one's just a really fine iridescent white because I wanted it to look a little bit like snow. I'll tag it down below, and as you can see I've just mixed that with some oil, and hopefully that'll look very cute as the liquid in the snow globe. So I've left a teeny tiny gap, I'm not sure if you can see that at all in the slightest, at the bottom of the snow globe, and I'm really hoping that I can pour it in there. You see, most people would use, oh no, it's going everywhere but where I want it.
Oh. There's a bit going in on that.
A tiny bit.
Alright.
So guys, things don't always go to plan on Not a Nail Tech, and that's absolutely okay, even if I don't think it's okay. So because we don't have a syringe, and most people would use a syringe for this, I'm just going to keep on trying and hope for the best. So each time I do this, I get a teeny tiny bit in. You can actually see there's a little bit in there. It's just going to take me a little while to do this because I'm not doing it like a professional.
One eternity later.
So that was the fiddliest, longest thing I've ever done in my whole entire life, and I do not recommend trying to fill it that way. So if you do this at home, please order a little syringe from wherever you can find one and do it that way, because that was ridiculous. But anyway, it's almost filled to the top. You want to leave a little air bubble in there so things can move, but I couldn't get any more in. I would have liked a little bit of a smaller air bubble than is what is in there now, but that's fine. So we're just going to finish that off by using our builder gel, and I'm just going to seal that all off all again, all at the bottom. So you've got to make sure you get rid of all of the oil, otherwise your gel polish will not stick. Then I'm just going to cure that for 60 seconds. Next, I'm going to use some of our new 3D, it's classed as nail tip gel adhesive, but it's great as a 3D putty. And I'm just going to make some little tubes, and this is going to make the base of our snow globe. And I'm going to pop that in again to cure. Just going to use some Zeus, and this is just going to be the colour for the stand. I'm just going to paint all over the stand with this. I'll probably need a couple of coats of it as well because it's not super opaque, this one. Just going to cure that before the next layer. Just going to go back in with another layer of that now. Just going back in with Friar's rub just to add in some details to the stand now. I'm just going to use a dotting tool just to add in some extra little details. There we go, pop that in the lamp. After putting the matte top coat on, it's got rid of a little bit of the texture and the glitter from the acrylic powder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some top coat on and put the acrylic powder back on. And then I'm not going to cure that top coat, I'm literally just going to go back in with the acrylic powder. Great, and then I'm just going to pop this back in the lamp. And finally I'm just going to top coat over the snow globe and the stand. And there we have it. Quite a cute snow globe, if I do say so myself. I don't think it's turned out too bad. I would probably change the stand a little bit because it looks a little bit like a Dalek, but that's okay with me. Anyway guys, if you want any of the products used today, check out the box below and there'll be a link. And we hope to see you next time. See you later.